Hey everyone, it's Alexandra. There's not going to be a full episode of the podcast this week. We've both been really busy with getting ready for New York and BookCon and just general day-to-day stuff. But instead of leaving you hanging, I thought I would share with you Chelsey and my discussion about the Avengers. Now, I've seen the movie 3 times at recording this intro. Chelsey's seen it twice, so our opinions may have changed a little bit over time. We'll get back to you on that, but here is our original opinion on the movie, so sit back and enjoy.
So it is that time of year once again where Disney throws us that bone that makes every year just that little bit better, and they have given us yet another Marvel movie.
Yay.
Not the only Marvel movie to be given to us this summer. There is also Ant-Man.
Yay.
I mean, the trailer came on for that movie at the beginning, and my mother looked at me and she was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "It's Ant-Man." She's like, "Really?"
I don't know, man. It sold me on the Thomas the Tank Engine thing at the end. I'm like, oh yeah, that's the most action Thomas will ever see. Yeah!
It was a clear indication that they were not taking themselves seriously, thank God.
And I know, as much as I laugh about it now, I know I'm gonna see it.
Oh yeah.
I know I'm gonna go see it. I'm a sheep. You know, not just because it's Marvel. Just because frickin' Corey Stoll. Just because F. Just because F.
You hate him that much.
I know, I hate F. And, like, because I hate F, I don't like Corey Stoll. And so, he's playing the bad guy. So, I'm kind of excited to see him get beat up.
You want to see him punched in the face.
That's so awful. I mean, I liked him on House of Cards, but after the strain, I'm just like, nope. I do not like you anymore.
Because I did not clarify, the movie we were talking about is Age of Ultron.
Woo!
And I really did not like this movie. You were kind of okay with it.
I'm okay. I thought it was mediocre.
Yeah, I thought it was mediocre, and I think it's because I set my Marvel standards really high, and it just did not hit the Marvel bar.
Well, the last few Marvel movies have been ridiculously good. Like, Guardians of the Galaxy, which everyone thought was gonna be, you know, did not trust that, like, raccoon thing, and then you end up seeing it 4 times in theaters and regret nothing. That's me.
It was totally worth it, though. 4 times.
I totally went to Fan Expo as Star-Lord. No, I didn't actually. It was Halloween, I was Star-Lord. Fan Expo, I was Winter Soldier, which is the other Marvel movie that was amazing.
It was excellent. Absolutely excellent. And then before that, you had Thor, which, okay, wasn't, like, excellent. Really good.
Thor 1 was, like, it was fun. It was not serious.
I was talking about Thor 2.
Oh, Thor 2 was fun and not serious.
Yes. But it was still good. You were still entertained. And then you had
Tom
the Avengers.
Hiddleston. Tom Hiddleston made Thor Dark World. Like, it took it from an okay movie to a...
Tom Hiddleston, I'll do that.
Yeah.
But anyways, and then you had the Avengers. So, you know, like, they've been sitting way up there. And then this movie, just... I didn't find a lot to like about it. It didn't feel cohesive. Like, the plot was just kind of like, oh, here's some stuff that's going on. And the characters were like, oh, here's some more stuff that's going on.
All the things.
Yeah. And we're just going to kind of throw this at you, and we're not going to explain anything that needs to explain. And, you know, this was like a middle movie.
I went into this movie with a very postmodernist approach. The second time I saw it, because I've seen it 2 times now. And that is looking at all the little pieces and not the big whole piece, because some of the little pieces are amazing. Like, some of the character scenes, some of the character-driven dialogue scenes are wonderful. Like, the scene where everybody's sitting around drinking and, oh, let's see who can lift up the hammer. Like, that was great.
That was like fan fiction on screen. That was wonderful.
I'm still heartbroken that Natasha didn't try and pick up the hammer, because she totally would have picked up the hammer.
It's just been like, whoop.
It's like, oh, you guys can't do this.
And then they would have all just been absolutely shocked, and the whole movie would have been different.
Any scene with Thor.
Cause yes.
Thor dialogue is golden. Like, anything that he says is, like, I love it.
Like the scene on the plane?
Like the scene on the plane where Bruce Banner is really kind of, oh, you know, I didn't think this was a code green. I didn't think we need the Hulk. And what's the damage report? Like, and Thor's like, oh, you know, the Hulk's enemies are crying out in pain. And da-da-da-da-da. And Bruce Banner's just like, no. And he's like, discomfort, not pain.
Maim them. Just maim them.
Lots of sore backs. And I'm just like, anything that he does is great.
I just came out of that really confused. Like there was Thor's Vision Quest. I'm like, is this...
we didn't get to see.
Yeah.
I wanted to see that. I hope there is some extended scene where, like, on the director's cut DVD, where Thor goes on a wacky Vision Quest. That is what I want.
I was like, but what is this? Is this a prophecy? Is this like a set of instructions? Isn't this supposed to be coming from his subconscious? How is this in his head?
Well, he's in the magical stream.
I know he's in the magical stream. I know.
And he sees Thanos' eyes, and he sees like all the whatever, I forget what they're called. This is awful. Like they were Infinity Stones. Mm-hmm. And which made me really, really want something that we'll talk about later. But I don't know. I liked the thing about Thor's crazy, weird Scarlet Witch influenced dream. I really liked the cinematography for that. I liked the masks. I liked just the, like, what the hell is going on. I like how Thor was like, wait, what? No, that mortal couldn't have done this to... Idris Elba? Is that you? Have I ever said how much I love Idris Elba?
Yes.
I love him. He's great.
I know. Yeah, okay, so it was supposed to be, like, induced by her, but then it's also supposed to be true.
Well, like, they kind of talked about it, kind of like how she can draw on, like, your fears, and I'm just gonna assume because he's, like, Odin's son, there has to be some kind of prophecy-ness in there somewhere. I don't know.
See, like, look how unclear this is.
He's just gonna go off on his vision quest, and we're never gonna see it, and it's gonna be the road trip you've always wanted.
So poor storytelling. That is what I'm chalking that up to. I have no idea what's going on.
But, like, okay, as this movie's setting up for Phase 3 of Marvel, one thing they did really, really well was Tony Stark versus Captain America, because you can tell they're really, really good friends, but you can tell there's some serious ideological, like, differences.
It's going to get in the way.
That's going to get in the way, and Civil War is going to happen, and I'm going to be there with my big thing of popcorn, eating this up, like, yeah, you guys fight it out. Oh. I'm a monster.
You are a monster. Oh.
No, I think the thing about Tony Stark, I think they're definitely really, really playing on his insecurities really, really well. Like the whole creation of Ultron, like, you know, I see a suit of armor around the world. Like, think about it though. This isn't like a super, super smart guy. I like how they mentioned the whole, like, how he's all for, like, this, like, development and evolution and stuff, and everybody's like, hey, Tony, don't play God. And he's like, this is how we move forward. Don't tell me no. Like, it's just like, dude, you gotta think about this for a moment.
Like, well, let's do more than a quick 5-second calculation here, like.
I think he was characterized very well as, like, the extent of what happened in the first Avengers, like, that would mess you up. And they did really well for Iron Man 3, showing, like, how the aftermath of that, but how that aftermath continues. Like, how this isn't something you're just gonna
walk away from.
You're gonna get a little bit woohoo.
Like, he nearly died.
Yeah.
He's coming back a little crazy.
And I like that they brought back that imagery of the invasion for his crazy dream that... Can we talk about the Scarlet Witch?
Yes, we can talk about the Scarlet Witch.
I friggin' love the Scarlet Witch.
Why? Witch do?
I don't know. It was just... I think my selling moment was, like, the first, when she, like, messes with Tony Stark the first time, how, like, they never did it again. How they kind of, like, stop motion, like, brought her in, like, she was very jerky and kind of strobe lighty. Like, how she moved, and I was just like, horror film. I was just so excited.
Really, that's what sold you.
Well, then I got super interested in her because she was unbelievably powerful.
She
like,
was.
Out of everyone, she had, like, all of her abilities were crazy. Like, you know, mind control, telekinesis. Like, she could do all of these things. And at one point, Ultron says to, like, her and her brother, like, we can mess with them, but she can destroy them. And that's not something you see a lot.
No, it really is not. But, like, there's so many plot holes with her, too, because we were watching, okay, it started at the beginning, and they're like, oh, these twins have these powers. And they're like, oh, how'd they get these powers? Oh, some kind of genetic manipulation, you know, has to do with the stone. We're not talking about this anymore, they have
the
powers.
Stone.
Yeah. And you're just like...
Hold on, can we take this one step further?
Alright.
Okay, we have spent like the first Avengers movie with Loki running around with the Tesseract, being like, oh, power, nah, 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 nah. He had another Infinity Stone in his frickin' staff.
But did he know it was there?
He had two. They were right there. They were right there. Was this planned? Or was this a last minute, oh, how can we bring this, like, Mind Stone into why don't we put it in Loki's staff? Because he was using it to control people's minds, but not actually their minds. It was their heart. Hey!
God. I don't know. I just want to know if he knew it was there. That's all I want to know.
Because if he didn't know and he finds out later,
that would be amazing.
So pissed.
It would be amazing.
What do you mean?
And where did he get it to begin with?
Thanos gave it to him. It was mentioned in the first Avengers movie. It's like, oh, we've given you, like, your magical staff thing and we've given you an army. And it's kind of like that, like, at the end of Age of Ultron, when Thor's leaving, and he's like, oh, someone else is pulling our strings.
Wait. Okay,
Yes.
pause just for a second.
Yes.
Okay, so what does Thanos want?
This is when it gets really stupid. Thanos wants all of the Infinity Stones so he can put them in his Infinity Gauntlet.
Okay. So, he had an Infinity Stone.
He had more than one Infinity Stone.
And he gave them away to get them back?
I guess it's, I'll lend you the Mind Stone if you give me the Tesseract when you're done with it. If you
or
give
did
them
he
both.
not know he had it? This is just getting better and better.
I don't know, man. I mean, and like at the end of Age of Ultron, Thor is like, oh, you know, someone's pulling our strings. Someone's like reintroducing all of these things. And guys, we've been seeing clips of Thanos since, like, was it Thor?
Probably.
Thor or the Avengers have... Is he finally coming in? Like, are we finally gonna get there? Is this finally gonna happen? Is it gonna happen?
Anyways, back to your...
Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
You were going on a rant.
I was going on a rant about how Loki is gonna be totally screwed when he realizes that he had 2 Infinity Stones, but, you know, he didn't, like, stop and question it.
You're like, back in Avengers 1, Thanos something...
Oh, back in Avengers 1, because when Loki's like, oh, I want to take over Earth, Thanos is like, here, have a magic staff and have an army. Go wild. Because they want to get the Tesseract. So I guess he's like, here, I'll give you 1 Infinity Stone if you can use that Infinity Stone to win the 2nd Infinity Stone, and then I will take them all. Ha 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 ha. I don't know. This is...
These are questions.
This is what happens when you sit and you think about something too much, you start picking it apart. But, Scarlet Witch... I liked her.
I know.
Hawkeye's relationship with the twins. The scene where Quicksilver grabs Scarlet Witch and they run off and Hawkeye has his bow. He's like, I could have shot him. I could have done it. No one would know. Oh, last time I saw him, Ultron was sitting on him. Oh, I miss him already. They turned Hawkeye into such a grumbly old man and I loved it. I loved it so much. But
at the same time...
I know...
Okay, so we were just doing our thing, dicking around on the internet.
Like we do.
And she goes on Facebook and she's like, oh look, a video, an interview with Jeremy Renner and Chris Evans. And we're like, oh, okay, what's going on? And the interviewer turns and looks at them and is like, oh, so what do you guys think about Natasha getting in with Bruce Banner in this one? And Jeremy Renner looks at the camera and goes, she's a slut. And then Chris Evans chuckles. And we both were just like, no!
Don't you hate it when, like, one small thing changes your opinion of a person?
Yeah, and I've had this, like, weird crush on Jeremy Renner since, like, the Bourne Identity movie that everybody hated and no one talks about, and I won't explain it, and I'm not gonna get into it, but I've always kind of just, like, liked him because of that movie, and then it's just kind of like,
and I know that the internet is really divided on this, because a lot of you are like, oh, it's a joke, ha ha ha, you know, you're overreacting, she's a fictional character. No, because look at it this way, guys, if this is acceptable with fictional characters, it is just a reflection of society and reality.
And basically his mindset was, like, as a person, like, if somebody did this to him, oh, she doesn't want to sleep with me, so she's a slut. So that was how he thinks his character thinks. That is how he thinks, like, it was said as a joke, but it clearly wasn't a joke.
And Chris Evans! No, you don't have it that is, you're enabling this.
You rightly look shocked, and then you just...
Oh my goodness, like...
that, and the apology on the internet was not.
Chris Evans' apology was much better than Jeremy Renner's apology, but we shouldn't have had to have apologies because we shouldn't have had this happen. I said it. And, like, I love Black Widow. Black Widow is basically who I wanted to be when I was a little girl. I wanted to be that kick-ass superhero, you know, she doesn't really have powers, she's smart, she's clever, she's like...
She does her own thing.
She does her own thing, like, she has that dark past, but... And she's like, I love her relationship with, like, everyone in the Avengers. Like, I like how she has built, like, a rapport with everyone, like, her, like... friendship with Captain America from Winter Soldier. How she always calls him an old man. I thought that was cute. Her and Hawkeye. Her and Hawkeye's family was just...
Aww. It's just adorable.
It just, like, it hurt me so much. It was so cute. And then her with Bruce Banner in this movie, how she turned him into a bumbling fool.
It's just cute. They were having conversations and he had no idea what they were about.
But he was trying. Oh, you're so... And I mean, I do have, like, there are certain things with her characterization in this movie I didn't like. I mean, how she just kind of eventually became, like, a plot point for Ultron to kidnap. I mean, it made sense in why she was kidnapped, how she was kidnapped. But it's still...
It just smacks of damsel in distress.
Yeah, it was just, like... Yeah.
Granted, she didn't get a lot of time to save herself.
Yeah, but...
Yeah. Oh, well. You can kind of just let it go, right?
Yeah.
Things I didn't like about it were... Sometimes it seemed to just do that, like, out of the blue, like, problem solving. Mm-hmm. Like, the one that really got to me was when Tony's standing out there, I think he was talking to Captain America, and then Hawkeye's wife comes up and he's like, oh, I need you to fix my tractor. And Tony's like, fine, I'll fix the damn tractor. And he goes into the barn, and then all of a sudden, like, in my mind, he just, like, appeared out of nowhere, like, just, like, poof! And there is Samuel Jackson to solve everybody's problems and kind of give him a little pep talk. And I was like, where did you come from?
Out of the barn, Chelsey.
Like, have you been living in their haystack?
He's been probably bunkering down in that barn, being like, oh boy, it reminded me of a scene from 30 Rock, which I watched this episode and I was just like, where Alec Baldwin's character had a really rough day and he's standing in an art gallery and he's facing away, and the main character walks in and he's like, oh, Lemon, it's been an awful day. And she's just like, how did you know it was me? And he said, well, honestly, the first 4 people who walked in weren't you. And I'm just like, yes. No, Mr. Fury, it's actually me. I'm just getting the chicken feed.
And it's just like, he just kind of, like, poofed into the damn barn. I was like, why are you in their barn? So just little things like that, where it was just like, oh, and then Samuel L. Jackson was there, and, you know.
I liked Ultron. I liked how crazy Ultron was. I liked just little Ultron line moments where the twins leave him, and he's just like, guys, no, come back, guys. Or like when the Hulk attacks his plane and he's just like, for the love of God. Like I liked
Ultron.
I liked his, like, my favorite line from him was he's like, you know, we all create what we dread, you know, like, peaceful men create, like, weapons. No. People make smaller people children. I forgot the word. And I'm like, hey. But at the same time, if the fact that Ultron was, like, alive and saw the internet and then decided that, okay, we gotta turn this entire thing off. Like, just shut it down. Part of me is like, yeah, totally. After seeing, like, some of the stuff that I've seen on the internet, I think if I was, like, an AI, I'd just be like, yeah, no, you guys go to hell. I'm done.
You don't need this.
But it felt like a really kind of, like, half-assed version of The Fifth Element. Like, when Lilu sees everything.
Yeah. Like, and then I was kind of unclear on what his ultimate plan was. Yes, he wanted to, like, destroy humanity, but he seemed to also have some kind of goal of, like, changing them, but destroying the planet, like, completely, like, nullifies that.
How I read into this, which I liked, was he's just like, it was that his line is like, God throws, when everything's okay, God throws a stone, and I mean, he winds up, I thought, oh, so he's gonna, like, do catastrophic event after catastrophic, like, try and, like, weed out society until only the good people are left, and I'm just like, that doesn't make, until the end when he's just like, yeah, well, the only thing left alive are gonna be metal, so ha-ha!
Yeah, but I was still like, but you said you wanted to change humanity, so how did you, same difference, let's be real. Okay. And so like and then we just suddenly switched gears and we're like, no, let's just destroy everything. Like
shut it down.
Yeah, no cataclysmic event where he's like, no, humans will never change. We must just destroy them. He's just like, no. That's it. I've kind of just decided that this is the way it's gonna go.
Also, did you notice during the scene when they went to the to get the special medal, that was Andy Serkis?
Did not know.
That was Andy Serkis.
Where?
He was the
guy,
the crime boss guy.
He accidentally got his hand cut off.
Because like I'm watching that and I'm like, that face is so familiar. No,
go on. Is that you?
But I read somewhere that he's going to be a reoccurring character.
Oh, that's great.
I'm just like, okay. But let's talk about the biggest... Let's talk about the Vision, who you didn't even know that was his name until... Because it's never like, this is the Vision. Like, he's referred to as, oh, he's my Vision. Let's not give him a name. He's not Jarvis, but he is Jarvis. He's different, but he's not. He's not.
We're not sure how he's different. He's just... thing. Here you go. Have a plot device.
Okay, my favorite thing about this is because Ultron's building that body and they get the body to Tony Stark, and then Scarlet Witch is like, oh, can you really trust him? And then there's Tony Stark and Bruce Banner having that argument, just like, I'm trapped in a loop. No, you're not. We're gonna break out of it this time. Tony, no!
And then Thor comes in and brings it to life, and you're like, why did you do that?
I saw this post on Tumblr, and it's like, you know why Pepper Potts isn't in this movie? Because if Pepper Potts was in this movie, this movie would never have happened. Because Tony would be like, I want to build Ultron, and she's like, no. The Vision, though, it's let's give the Mind Stone a body, and you know,
sure, this will work out brilliantly.
And then I like the bro relationship between the Vision and Thor. Like, oh, did you notice that the only Avenger who actually wears a cape is Thor, and so the Vision puts on a cape to like, oh look, he's wearing a cape, I'll wear a cape.
We can both pick up the hammer.
Yeah.
Oh, so cute. So cute. So, I guess the bottom line is, yes, there were some very good things about this movie, but it did not, in any way, take away the meh suckage of this movie.
It's like wading through a swamp.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay, well.
Stuff happened.
Oh, there's a pretty flower, and then all this waste. But we have more to look forward to. And not everything can be amazing.
No. I mean, look at it this way. We were talking about how awesome the Marvel movies were, and we did not mention at all Iron Man 2. Which is like the lowest of the low. And in my mind...
No, the lowest of the low is Captain America 1.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Don't even.
Oh, man. Like, I love Winter Soldier. I love it so much. I wrote my thesis paper on Captain America 1. I have seen that movie too many times. But, like, if I were... This is... Worst would be Captain America 1, followed by Iron Man 2, and then Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Like, I find Age of Ultron is pretty much on par with Iron Man 3, in my mind. Like, they're pretty equal. Like,
yeah. I would have even bumped up Iron Man 2 over 3, just because I remember that more.
No, Iron Man 3 gave us Trevor. And so that's why it gets more points when the Mandarin was actually the actor.
Jeez. Oh, yeah. There were some good moments, too. But I don't even know.
So, what were your thoughts on Age of Ultron? Did you like it? Did you not? Is there anything that we missed? We're coming from not a really, really strong comic background.
She just Wikipedia's everything, and then I cut it from her.
And I've read a few things, like... some stuff about the twins that's fun. I'm not going to talk about. X-Men. One thing we didn't mention was the Hawkeye apologistness of this movie. It's just like, yeah, we totally didn't give a Hawkeye a big role, so we'll, like, give him a role in this one.
A plot line, you know.
You're important, Hawkeye.
You have a purpose. Anyways, so tell us your favorites. Tell us the ones you hate.
Which Marvel movie are you looking forward to the most? Civil War.
Avengers 3?
I thought you would have said Thor Ragnarok.
I don't know.
Or maybe Ant-Man.
Oh, yes. Give me some Ant-Man. Bye, guys.
Choo-choo.